Why are you still sick? The Buddhist path to healing without drugs or stress. Why do I keep getting sick? Even when I eat well, take medicine, and try to think positively. This is the silent question that echoes in many people's hearts when illness becomes a constant part of their daily lives. Sometimes it's not just one illness. It's a relentless series of ailments, one after another, wearing down the body, numbing the spirit, and gradually breaking the will to keep trying. You go from one hospital to another, from one doctor to another, from one medication to the next, and still no relief. And then one day you ask yourself, is this my bad karma? Am I cursed? Is there no way to heal? But Buddhism, with its deepest compassion and wisdom, offers a very different perspective. Illness is not a punishment. It is not a curse from God. It is a message that whispers, sometimes gently, sometimes painfully, live differently. Illness is not a curse. The Buddha never said, you are sick because you are bad. Instead, he pointed to something much subtler and deeper. In the Anguttara Nikaya, the numerical discourses, the Buddha said, there are two types of illness, physical illness and mental illness. There are those who may not experience physical illness for 1 year, 2 years, or even 100 years. But those who do not experience mental illness, even for a moment, are extremely rare. This is not just a philosophical statement, it's a wake-up call. We live in an era where physical illness is diagnosed through test results, yet emotional and mental suffering is often ignored until it starts manifesting physically. Have you ever noticed how anxiety tightens your chest? How resentment causes headaches? How sorrow stops your digestive system from working? How chronic stress leads to ulcers or heart disease? These are not metaphors. They are the everyday reality of modern life. And they point to a deep insight from Buddhism. The body and the mind are not separate. They reflect each other. They suffer together. They heal together. A generation of silent illness. Stop for a moment and look around. We have cleaner food, better hospitals, easier access to medicine than ever before in human history. But more people are suffering from chronic illnesses. More people are depressed. More people lie awake at night, staring at the ceiling, exhausted, not knowing why they feel so tired all the time. At 30, some people are diagnosed with autoimmune disorders. At 40, some people lose the ability to sleep. At 50, many people walk around with hearts full of silent sadness, even though their test results are normal. Why? Because we live in a culture that values the body but starves the soul. We apply skin cream but never speak kindly to ourselves. We go to the gym but never forgive our past mistakes. We buy organic food but feed our minds with criticism, comparison, envy, and regret. In this way, illness becomes a mirror. It shows us what we have been neglecting. Your illness is a mirror. Here is the fundamental shift in perspective that Buddhism offers. You don't have to wait for your illness to go away in order to live in peace. You just need a heart big enough to make peace with your illness. Imagine that. You don't need to be healed to be free. You just need to stop fighting with yourself. This does not mean giving up. It means waking up. Every symptom, whether it's pain, panic, or a diagnosis, is a message from your body asking, can we live differently? Can we let go of that bitterness? Can we stop chasing things that don't matter? Can we rest? Your illness is a mirror. Here is the fundamental shift in perspective that Buddhism offers. You don't have to wait for your illness to go away in order to live in peace. You just need a heart big enough to make peace with your illness. Imagine that. You don't need to be healed to be free. You just need to stop fighting with yourself. This does not mean giving up. It means waking up. Every symptom, whether it's pain, panic, or a diagnosis, is a message from your body asking, Can we live differently? Can we let go of that bitterness? Can we stop chasing things that don't matter? Can we rest? A true story. I did heal my illness, I healed my fear. Let me tell you the story of Alina. At 27, Alina was diagnosed with lupus, a disease that caused excruciating joint pain, swollen face, and weakened muscles. The pain felt like being pierced by hundreds of tiny needles every day. At first, she fought the illness with medication, a strict diet, and endless Google searches. Then one day, she stopped. Instead, she began to listen. She ate simply. She meditated every morning. She watched spiritual talks in the evenings. She said, "I still have lupus, but I am no longer afraid, and for me that is healing." This is what Buddhism calls spiritual liberation. When you stop fearing pain, the pain loses its power over you. Karma is not fate, it's the ground you plant. Let's address this tricky question. Many people, especially in spiritual communities, often ask, "Am I sick because of bad karma?" This is a delicate question. The Buddha taught that karma is not a punishment. It is the natural unfolding of cause and effect. But most importantly, he emphasized this. Between past karma, seeds, and future karma, fruit, there is a powerful space. The present moment. And in the present, you can choose new thoughts. You can cultivate new actions. You can water different seeds. Your illness may be part of past karma, but your response to it is the present karma. If you face illness with despair, you will sow more suffering. If you face it with awareness, compassion, and a willingness to change, you will begin the journey of transformation. Let's return to the opening question of this video. Why do I keep getting sick? Perhaps, just perhaps. It is not a punishment. It is a sacred invitation to stop, to breathe, to care for yourself in a way you never have before, to awaken. There is a Zen saying, obstacles are the path. Your illness may be the very path. The unexpected guide leads you inward to the temple of your own being. And when you enter that temple, it is not to fix yourself, but to understand yourself. That is where the real healing begins. This video marks the beginning of your healing journey. If you found this content useful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to stay updated on the upcoming parts. The invisible wounds. How your emotions could be causing your illness. The Buddhist path to healing without drugs or stress. You are not just what you eat. You are also what you feel, what you fear, and what you keep silent. We often think of illness as something that happens to us. A virus, an accident, a random twist of fate. But very few people stop to ask, could the way I live, the way I think, and especially the way I feel, be contributing to what I'm experiencing in my body? Modern science says yes. Ancient Buddhism has said this for a long time. And if we are brave enough to listen, the answer is not just yes, but here's how to begin the healing process. Unresolved emotions turn into physical illness. Let's start with a common but rarely discussed reality. A woman holds resentment in her heart for many years. One day, her body erupts in chronic fatigue. A man loses a loved one and silently buries the pain. 2 months later, he suffers from chest pain and high blood pressure. A teenager, afraid of disappointing others, hides anxiety behind a smile, until one night he has a panic attack, feeling like he's about to die. These are not coincidences. They are emotional wounds that found no escape, so they entered the body. According to Buddhist understanding, the mind does not reside solely in the head. It lives throughout the body. Every thought, every repressed emotion, every unresolved grudge. It all reverberates through your nervous system, muscles, immune response, and even your digestive system. And eventually, the body will speak. Western science confirms. Your body keeps the score. Let's dive into a bit of science. In the groundbreaking book The Body Keeps the Score, trauma expert Dr. Bessel van der Kolk explains, trauma is not just an event that happened in the past. It exists in the body, and the body always remembers even when the mind forgets. Recent studies show that chronic anger is linked to heart disease. Prolonged grief weakens the immune system. Anxiety disrupts gut microbiota and digestive enzymes. Repressed emotions can lead to inflammation, fatigue, and autoimmune diseases. The field of psychoneuroimmunology, a branch of modern medicine, proves that your thoughts and emotions truly affect your health. On a cellular level, 3 common emotional toxins. Let's break it down into 3 common invisible toxins that are often overlooked. 1. Anger, either turned inward or outward. Unresolved anger increases blood pressure, tightens muscles, raises stress hormones, and can cause arteries to harden over time. 2. Anxiety, the silent panic behind a calm exterior. Chronic anxiety keeps the sympathetic nervous system in overdrive, weakening digestion, sleep, and immunity. 3. Shame, the silent belief I am not enough. Shame doesn't shout, it whispers. But it kills confidence, paralyses joy, and keeps the body in a low vibrational state. People with high inner shame have a statistically higher risk of chronic disease. Buddhism refers to these as kleshas, negative emotions, and warns that if left unchecked, they not only disturb the mind but manifest physically in the body. Buddhist perspective: suffering is a messenger, not an enemy. The Buddha never denied the reality of suffering. He simply reframed it. He said pain is inevitable, but suffering is optional, because suffering arises from resistance, attachment, and misunderstanding. When we deny our sorrow, it becomes fatigue. When we suppress our pain, it becomes numbness. When we ignore our desires, it becomes addiction. When we cling to control, it becomes chronic stress. What does Buddhism offer us? An opportunity to sit with these emotions, not to fix them or run from them, but to understand them so deeply that they begin to reveal themselves. Let me tell you about a man named James, 42 years old. He had a perfect life, a stable job, a faithful partner, 2 kids, a lovely home, but every night he struggled to breathe. His chest tightened. His hands went numb. He felt like he was about to die. Cardiologists couldn't find anything. Psychiatrists prescribed medication. Yet the panic attacks came as usual. It wasn't until James sat with a meditation teacher that everything came to light. Through tears, he said, "I never mourned for my mother. She passed away when I was 16. I just moved on. I never cried, never spoke about it. I told myself I had to be strong." And his teacher, with deep compassion, said, "Your body hasn't forgotten. It still holds that moment." That night, James cried for the first time in 26 years. The next morning, he woke up feeling lighter, not completely healed, but no longer afraid. He said, "My panic attacks were not trying to destroy me. They were trying to find me." The Buddha gave us tools, not magic. He didn't say, "Just think positive." He said, "Look deeply. When you are ill, ask, what am I holding inside? What has been buried too long? Where have I abandoned myself? What am I afraid to feel?" This is the beginning of the inner healing process, not from the outside in, but from the inside out. And remember, understanding is healing. When the truth is clearly seen, the suffering it causes often begins to fade. Practice, face the pain, don't run from it. Let's take a moment to practice something simple but powerful. This practice will help you confront your emotions and physical pain with compassion instead of running from it. Step 1. Find a quiet, comfortable space where you can sit still. Close your eyes gently and take 3 deep breaths. Let each breath fill your lungs, and as you exhale, release any tension or stress. Step 2. Now turn your attention inward. Ask yourself, where does it hurt? But don't just focus on physical pain. Tune in and ask, where am I feeling tension? Where do I feel heat, tightness, or discomfort? Step 3. As you reflect, you might notice these feelings in your chest, in your stomach, or perhaps even in your throat. Wherever it is, bring your awareness to that spot. Step 4. Instead of trying to push away the discomfort or change it, simply pay attention to it. Just be with it. Allow yourself to feel what is there without judgment. Step 5. Now place your hand gently over that area as if you're offering comfort to a child in need. Let your hand be warm, supportive, and gentle. As you do this, silently repeat to yourself, I see you, I hear you, you are safe with me. Step 6. Practice this every day, not as a technique you must perfect, but as a return to yourself. When you face pain and discomfort with awareness and kindness, something amazing happens. The pain itself begins to soften because you're no longer avoiding it or fighting it. Why this works? Sometimes what hurts isn't just the pain itself. It's the fact that we've left it unresolved for too long. We've pushed it down, avoided it, or ignored it. But when we turn towards it with compassion and understanding, we create space for healing to begin. This practice helps you connect with your body and emotions in a deep, meaningful way. It's about acknowledging your feelings, being gentle with yourself, and starting the process of healing from the inside out. In Buddhism, there is an important teaching. Between stimulus and response, there is a space. In that space lies our power. When you feel emotional pain, you have two choices: react unconsciously with anger, blame, distraction. Respond mindfully with attention, breath, and understanding. The first deepens the wound. The second begins to heal the wound, and gradually pain becomes the teacher. Suffering transforms into wisdom. There is a story in Buddha's life about a woman named Kisa Gautami, who lost her infant son and went mad with grief. She went door to door, asking for medicine to bring her child back. Eventually, someone took her to the Buddha. He told her, bring me a mustard seed from any house that has never experienced death. She searched throughout the village, house by house. Not a single family had escaped loss. That night she returned empty-handed, but awakened. She buried her son and became a nun. Her pain did not disappear, but it transformed. It opened her to a deeper reality. We all suffer, we all break, but we can all awaken. If you take away only one thing from this video, let it be this. Your emotions are not a mistake. Your wounds are not shameful. Your body has not betrayed you. They are the messengers. They are the guides. They are the sacred invitation for you to meet yourself more deeply. And when you finally do that, not to fix, but to feel, not to struggle, but to understand, that is when the healing process begins, not just in your body, but in your heart and in your soul. Transformation begins with awareness, the Buddhist path to healing without drugs or stress. You are not broken, you are simply becoming. This is a profound teaching in Buddhism, a reminder that healing is not about returning to some ideal state, where there is no pain, no mistakes. Healing is not about erasing all the suffering or scars in our lives, but about becoming fully aware of who we truly are right in this moment. And it is within this awareness that transformation begins. Awareness, the first step in the healing process. The Buddha taught that ignorance, a lack of deep understanding about the nature of life, is the root of all suffering. When we are unaware of ourselves, when we live on autopilot, reacting to pain and pleasure without understanding the deeper forces at play inside our minds and emotions, we unknowingly continue repeating a cycle of suffering. Imagine you are driving without paying attention to the road, relying only on the autopilot of the car. You might be moving forward, but you don't know where you're headed, and it's easy to get lost on paths you didn't intend to take. This is how we live when we lack full awareness of ourselves. But the moment we wake up, becoming aware of our emotions, thoughts, and sensations, when we return to ourselves and see clearly what is happening within us, that's when healing begins. This is the essence of the Buddhist practice of mindfulness. Mindfulness is not just a meditation technique, it's a way of living. When we practice mindfulness, we are fully present in each moment. Instead of being swept up by thoughts, emotions, and bodily sensations, we stop, observe them without judgment. We don't try to change or control them. We simply observe, feel, and understand them. In this space of awareness, we create an opportunity for transformation. By not reacting automatically to our emotions or thoughts, we allow ourselves freedom. When we are no longer controlled by unconscious reactions, we begin to change the way we perceive and handle situations. And it is within this awareness that the healing process unfolds, bringing deep understanding of ourselves and opening the path to peace and self-healing. When you practice mindfulness, you not only improve the quality of your life, but you also open the door to healing holistically, not just through external methods, but through a deep connection with yourself. Suffering doesn't always come from external circumstances. While we cannot control every event in our lives, there's one thing we can control: how we respond to those events. When we face suffering with resistance, anger, or avoidance, we inadvertently make the pain more intense. This opposition only keeps us bound to the pain, making it stick to our minds and bodies. It's like trying to push a large wave away from us. The wave only becomes stronger, and we're pulled further into it. However, when we greet suffering with acceptance, curiosity, and compassion, the pain begins to lessen. This doesn't mean we deny or ignore our pain. It's not about saying it's okay when we're truly hurting. Instead, it's about becoming fully aware of the feeling, without judgment, without immediately trying to change it. We face the pain with mindfulness and understanding. We allow ourselves to experience it fully, without worry, without running away. It is in this presence, in every sensation, every moment of awareness, that we begin the healing process. This is the power of understanding the source of suffering. Suffering is not the enemy we need to fight. It is simply a part of our life journey. When we change how we respond to suffering, we open the opportunity for healing from within. The cycle of suffering and transformation. In Buddhism, suffering is not an endpoint, but a part of an ongoing cycle. But here's the hopeful part: this cycle can be broken. The Buddha teaches us that suffering is not something we must endure forever. Instead, suffering is a part of existence that we can change when we understand the three fundamental characteristics of life. 1. Impermanence anicca. Everything changes, nothing is permanent. Everything, objects, situations, sensations, and states is temporary. Thus, pain is just a phase. When we understand that nothing lasts forever, we can more easily let go and not get swept up in the whirlpool of suffering. 2. Suffering dukkha, pain and dissatisfaction are inevitable parts of life. This is a truth we must face and accept. However, Buddhism does not encourage us to resign ourselves to suffering as something unavoidable. In fact, this is the very opportunity for awakening and liberation. Suffering is not infinite. It is part of the process of growth and transformation. 3. Non-self, anatta, the belief in the fixed, separate self is an illusion. We often think of ourselves as independent, unchanging entities. But the truth is, we are always changing and cannot be entirely separate from the world around us. When we realize that, I am just a part of a larger cosmic flow, we stop clinging to the ego and witness suffering begin to diminish. Understanding these three truths is not about accepting a life of suffering. On the contrary, they are the keys to finding freedom. When we realize that suffering is inevitable, but it will pass, we stop clinging to it, and when we stop clinging, we also stop suffering. Thus, the cycle of suffering is not an eternal trap. It is a circle that can be broken when we awaken and understand the true nature of existence. When we stop clinging to emotions, thoughts, or difficult situations, we find peace even within our own pain. Healing with compassion, Buddha's call to love yourself. One of the core elements in the healing process is compassion, not just for others, but for ourselves as well. Compassion in Buddhism is not pity or feeling sorry for ourselves or others. Rather, compassion is a deep awareness of the value and worth we all have, deserving of care, understanding, and kindness, regardless of the flaws or mistakes we carry within. In the healing process, when we face our pain with compassion, we don't deny or try to escape it. Instead of running from pain, we listen to it and care for it. Compassion teaches us that, instead of resisting or judging ourselves during difficulties, we can accept and embrace those feelings, so they no longer become waves that overwhelm us. When facing difficult emotions, compassion allows us to feel and understand more deeply what's happening in our hearts. Instead of trying to control or deny the pain, we listen to the messages that pain is bringing. And in this act of care and listening, we begin to find transformation. The Buddha taught that healing begins with self-compassion. When we truly love and care for ourselves, we not only heal ourselves, but also create peace and love in the world around us. Compassion is the bridge that helps us overcome challenges, understand ourselves more deeply, and reach a profound inner peace. Practicing loving kindness, metta. One of the most profound teachings from the Buddha is the practice of loving kindness meditation, also known as metta. This practice is not just a meditation technique, but a deep practice of loving kindness, offering blessings and love to ourselves and the world around us. The metta practice doesn't need to be complicated. We can perform it through simple and heartfelt well wishes such as, may I be happy, may I be healthy, may I live with ease, may I be free from suffering. However, what's even more important than just repeating these phrases is connecting deeply with the heart of the practice. When we say these words, we're not just uttering them. In truth, we're sending a prayer from our hearts, carrying genuine love and compassion. When we offer loving kindness to ourselves, we truly open our hearts to healing. We create an inner space where all wounds and pains can be comforted and soothed. This helps us not only find peace within ourselves, but also extend that same heart to those around us. When we expand loving kindness to others, we realize that all of us are connected through our shared experiences of suffering and joy. Each person is on their own journey, but we all share in the same feelings of sorrow, as well as moments of happiness and joy. And in this realization, loving kindness helps us connect deeply with one another. Practicing metta is not only a tool for healing ourselves, but also a way to extend love to the world around us, so that everyone can feel the peace and love from us. When we love ourselves and others, we create a powerful healing cycle, a circle of compassion that keeps spinning, spreading happiness and peace. The power of presence, healing through the present moment. In life, we are often pulled into worries about the future or regrets about the past. These thoughts can make us feel anxious and detached from the present. But the Buddha taught that the only moment that truly matters is the present. This is where we find peace. And it is here that healing truly happens. Mindfulness is the key to returning to the present moment. When we practice mindfulness, we not only become aware of our thoughts, emotions, and sensations, but we also observe them without judgment or desire to change them. Instead of trying to control everything, we learn to accept them as they are. It is in this process that the body and mind begin to heal naturally. When we fully embrace the present moment, we stop running away from pain. We no longer resist it, no longer fear it. We simply allow it to be. And magically, when we allow something to exist without resistance, it loses its power and impact over us. Mindfulness helps us face our emotions and pain without being overwhelmed by them. When we don't try to change, control, or escape, we create space for natural healing. Emotions no longer feel like torturous burdens or uncomfortable storms, but rather they become sensations, understandings, and valuable lessons. By focusing on the present, we not only heal our hearts, but we also build a healthy relationship with ourselves, free from prolonged fear or suffering. We can live fully in harmony with ourselves and the world around us. In this busy world, we often react to pain with fear or frustration. We fight against what we don't want, hoping it will disappear. But the Buddha teaches us that we have the power to choose. Between pain and reaction, there is a space. And in that space, we have the power to choose how we respond. This is where awareness becomes a healing tool. When we face pain with mindfulness, we stop reacting automatically. Instead, we respond with understanding, patience, and compassion. The more we practice, the more we shift from unconscious reactions to conscious responses. And this shift opens the door for healing to begin. Let me share with you the story of Anna, a woman who faced severe anxiety throughout her life. For many years, she lived in constant fear of what the future might hold, always worrying about what could happen. Her mind never stopped racing with worst-case scenarios, imagining the worst that could happen. Anna tried everything to escape this anxiety: therapy, medication, lifestyle changes, but nothing worked. She felt trapped in a never-ending loop with no way out. Then one day, by chance, Anna found a mindfulness meditation practice. At first, it was very hard. Her mind was flooded with chaotic thoughts and she felt worse than ever. But instead of giving up, she decided to keep going. Slowly, something miraculous began to happen. Anna started to notice a change within herself. Her anxiety no longer controlled her. Instead of being swept away by the whirlwind of fearful thoughts, she started to feel she could breathe freely again. One day, while meditating, Anna had a breakthrough. She realized that the very fear she had been running from all these years was not the enemy. The true enemy was her resistance to that fear. She had always tried to push it away, run from it. But it was that very resistance that made the fear stronger. When Anna began to face her fear directly, no longer trying to avoid or deny it, she felt a sense of liberation. Instead of fearing it, she learned to accept it, to observe it without resistance, and in this acceptance, she found freedom, healing through letting go. At the core of healing in the Buddha's teachings is letting go. Let go of control, attachment, and self-judgment. It's not about erasing the pain, but finding peace within the pain itself. When we are present, practice mindfulness, and offer compassion to ourselves, we truly begin the healing journey. To heal, we must recognize that suffering is not something to fear. It is a teacher. We must understand that illness is not a punishment, but an invitation to live more fully. Healing happens when we stop fighting the flow of life and embrace each moment, no matter how difficult. The path to healing is not a straight line. It is a journey of awareness, acceptance, and transformation. As we continue our journey to understand the Buddha's teachings, remember this: healing is a path, not a destination. It is a lifelong practice of being present with whatever comes our way and responding with love, compassion, and wisdom. Practicing mindfulness, compassion, and letting go are the foundations of healing. But the most important thing to remember is that healing starts with awareness. And awareness is something we can all practice. Before we end this video, I'd like to invite you to join in this conversation. Please share your thoughts on the healing journey you're currently on. What methods have you applied to heal yourself? How do you feel when practicing mindfulness, compassion, or letting go? We would love to hear from you, because this connection will help each of us understand more about the healing journey and continue to grow in life. The power of mindfulness meditation, the Buddhist path to healing without drugs or stress, Part 4. The mind is everything. What you think, you become. Buddha, mindfulness meditation has become one of the most popular and scientifically researched practices in the world today. But while its modern applications have proven to be incredibly effective, this practice has deep roots in the ancient teachings of Buddhism. For thousands of years, it has been used as a tool for healing, not just the body, but the mind and spirit as well. In this section, we will explore why mindfulness meditation is such a powerful healing method, both scientifically and spiritually, and how it can change your life in ways you may never have imagined. What is mindfulness meditation? Mindfulness meditation is a practice of purposeful attention, focused on the present moment without judgment. It involves consciously observing your thoughts, emotions, and physical sensations without trying to change or control them. Unlike some meditation techniques that encourage focusing on a single thought, mantra, or object, mindfulness meditation is about cultivating awareness. It's about paying attention to whatever arises without becoming attached to it. This method has deep roots in Buddhism, where it was taught by Buddha as a way to gain profound insight into the nature of the mind, understand suffering, and ultimately reach enlightenment. However, the benefits of mindfulness meditation go far beyond spiritual awakening. It is a powerful tool for healing in our daily lives. By practicing mindfulness, we can learn to be fully present in each moment, fostering a deeper connection with ourselves and the world around us. It can help us navigate the complexities of life with more ease and clarity, offering peace and healing in ways that we might never have imagined. At the heart of mindfulness meditation lies a powerful truth. Everything we experience, whether it's a thought, an emotion, or a physical sensation, is impermanent. It comes and it goes. This fundamental understanding is key to why mindfulness can be so transformative. When we learn to observe our thoughts and bodily sensations without becoming attached to them, we begin to release their hold over us. This is especially important for those who struggle with chronic pain, illness, or stress. By practicing mindfulness, we learn to stop reacting to these sensations with fear or resistance, which often only intensifies the discomfort. Mindfulness meditation helps us reconnect with our body in a profound way. It encourages us to slow down the automatic stress response that tightens our muscles, raises our blood pressure, and weakens our immune system. Instead of being caught in a cycle of tension and distress, we give our bodies the opportunity to relax and restore balance. In fact, research has shown that mindfulness meditation can have a direct impact on our physical health. Reduce stress by lowering cortisol levels, the hormone associated with stress. Increase pain tolerance by altering how the brain processes pain, allowing us to endure discomfort without being overwhelmed. Strengthen the immune system, boosting the body's natural defenses and enhancing its ability to fight illness. Promote healing by activating the body's relaxation response, which helps to restore balance and reduce inflammation. By incorporating mindfulness into our daily routine, we begin to cultivate not just mental peace, but physical healing. It offers a holistic approach to well-being, allowing the mind and body to work in harmony for optimal health. Whether you're looking to reduce stress, alleviate pain, or simply feel more present in your body, mindfulness can be a powerful tool for healing. How mindfulness meditation heals the mind. In today's fast-paced world, our minds are constantly bombarded by distractions, social media, work pressures, and the never-ending demands of daily life. We often find ourselves consumed by worries about the future or regrets about the past, leaving us disconnected from the present moment. Mindfulness meditation teaches us how to quiet this constant mental chatter. It guides us to focus on the here and now, where true healing can take place. But healing the mind isn't just about finding peace or calm. It's about transforming how we interact with our thoughts. Instead of being controlled by our thoughts, we learn to observe them without judgment. We begin to see them for what they are, passing moments in our minds, rather than absolute truths. It's like watching clouds float across the sky. They come, they go, and they don't last forever. In Buddhism, this practice is known as detachment. But detachment doesn't mean we stop caring. It means we stop identifying ourselves with every thought and emotion that arises. We begin to realize that our thoughts are just that, thoughts. They don't define us. By practicing mindfulness, we reclaim our power over our minds, allowing us to respond to life with greater clarity and equanimity. Instead of being carried away by emotional turbulence, we can observe our feelings, accept them without judgment, and let them pass. This process creates space for healing, emotional balance, and a deeper sense of inner peace. The science behind mindfulness meditation. Recent studies in neuroscience and psychology have shown that mindfulness meditation has a profound effect on the brain, particularly in areas responsible for regulating emotions, attention, and memory. One of the most groundbreaking discoveries is that mindfulness meditation can actually rewire the brain. Research has revealed several fascinating findings. Mindfulness increases gray matter in areas of the brain associated with memory, emotion regulation, and learning. This means that mindfulness not only helps us cope better with emotions, but also boosts our brain's capacity to retain and process information. It can shrink the amygdala, which is known as the fear center of the brain. This reduces anxiety and stress, helping us become less reactive to external triggers and less overwhelmed by negative emotions. Mindfulness enhances activity in the prefrontal cortex, the part of the brain responsible for higher-level functions such as decision-making, self-control, and problem-solving. This improvement allows us to approach challenges with greater clarity and focus. In short, mindfulness meditation doesn't just promote relaxation, it helps us become more resilient, calm, and focused in the face of stress and adversity. By rewiring the brain, it supports a healthier, more balanced mental state, which leads to more positive reactions to life's challenges. How to practice mindfulness meditation? You might be wondering, how do I begin? The beauty of mindfulness meditation lies in its simplicity. It's accessible to anyone, requires no special equipment or training, and you can start right now. Here's a simple guide to help you get started. 1. Find a quiet space. Sit in a comfortable position, either on a chair or on the floor. Make sure your back is straight, and your hands rest comfortably on your knees or thighs. The goal is to be relaxed yet alert. 2. Focus on your breath. Close your eyes and begin paying attention to your breath. Breathe naturally without forcing or controlling it. Simply notice the sensation of the air as it enters and leaves your body. 3. Observe your thoughts and emotions. As you sit, thoughts and emotions will naturally arise. When they do, just notice them. Don't engage with them, judge them, or try to push them away. Observe them as they come and go without attachment. 4. Return to your breath. If your mind starts to wander, don't worry. Just gently bring your attention back to your breath. This is the practice, returning to the present moment again and again. 5. End with gratitude. When you're ready to finish, slowly open your eyes. Take a few deep breaths and take a moment to express gratitude for the time you spent in stillness. Appreciate the peace you've cultivated in your mind. Mindfulness meditation doesn't require perfection, just consistency. With practice, it will become a powerful tool to help you stay grounded, calm, and connected to the present moment. Mindfulness meditation in daily life. Mindfulness isn't just about sitting still on a cushion. It's about how you show up in every moment of your day. Whether you're washing dishes, talking to a friend, or walking down the street, you can practice mindfulness throughout the day by fully focusing on whatever you're doing. This is called informal mindfulness practice. It's the art of being fully present, no matter what you're engaged in. Here are a few examples of how to bring mindfulness into your daily routine. When eating, eat mindfully. Focus on the taste, texture, and smell of your food. Be aware of your body's hunger and satiety signals. Pay attention to how each bite feels and how it nourishes you. When walking, walk mindfully. Feel your feet connecting with the ground, notice the sounds and sights around you, and breathe deeply. Let each step be a moment of awareness. When talking to someone, listen mindfully. Be fully present with the person in front of you, without judgment or distraction. Notice your thoughts, reactions, and emotions as they arise, and observe them, without getting caught up in them. By incorporating mindfulness into everyday tasks, you bring more presence, peace, and clarity into your life. Mindfulness doesn't require special moments or conditions. It can transform even the most mundane activities into opportunities for healing and connection. Mindfulness as a tool for healing the past. For many of us, past trauma or unresolved emotional pain still lingers, quietly influencing our thoughts, emotions, and actions. These past experiences, though long gone, continue to shape the way we interact with the world. Mindfulness meditation is a powerful tool for healing these wounds because it allows us to reconnect with and process these difficult emotions in a compassionate, non-judgmental way. In Buddhism, we are taught that healing isn't about running away from the past. It's about facing it with compassion and wisdom. It's about allowing ourselves to feel what we've been avoiding and acknowledging the pain that we've buried. This is the first step toward true healing. Through mindfulness, we can bring peace to our past by being fully present with it. Instead of letting old wounds define us, mindfulness teaches us to observe them. Without attachment, without judgment, we learn to understand the emotions tied to these memories and release their hold over us. By practicing mindfulness, we gradually free ourselves from the grip of past pain, allowing space for healing and self-compassion. The act of being present with our past rather than running from it is the key to finding peace and moving forward in life. Mindfulness offers us the tools to heal deeply and authentically, so we can let go and live more fully in the present moment. Meet David, a man in his 50s who has struggled with anxiety and depression for most of his adult life. For years, he tried therapy, medications, and countless self-help books, but nothing seemed to work. His anxiety felt like a constant weight that he couldn't shake off, clouding his every day. One day, David's therapist suggested he try mindfulness meditation. Despite his skepticism, David agreed. He wasn't sure what to expect, but he was willing to try anything that could help him find some relief. At first, it was difficult. His mind raced with thoughts, and he felt more restless than calm. The practice didn't immediately quiet his anxiety, and the stillness felt foreign to him. But over time, David began to notice something subtle. His body wasn't as tense as it used to be. His breath slowed, becoming more natural. He could breathe, truly breathe, not just physically, but emotionally as well. David began to incorporate mindfulness into his daily routine. He didn't expect his anxiety to simply disappear, but slowly he realized he no longer felt controlled by it. The more he practiced, the more space he found between his thoughts and reactions. That space, as small as it seemed at first, became his refuge. And in that space, he discovered peace. Mindfulness meditation didn't promise an end to his struggles, but it gave David something far more valuable: the ability to respond to his thoughts and emotions with awareness instead of being consumed by them. It was through this practice that he began to heal, not just his mind, but his whole being. And in that healing, David found a new way to live, a way filled with presence, peace, and freedom. The true power of mindfulness meditation. Mindfulness meditation isn't just about reducing stress or relaxing. It's about transformation. It's about changing the way we relate to ourselves, to others, and to the world around us. When we practice mindfulness, we begin to see things clearly without the distortion of the past or future. We start to experience life as it is, free from the judgments and expectations that usually cloud our perception. Mindfulness allows us to live more fully in the present moment, where true healing can take place. By being present, we open ourselves up to healing, emotionally, mentally, and even physically. In the here and now, we can process our emotions, release the tension we hold in our bodies, and find peace amidst the chaos of daily life. Through mindfulness, we realize that we are not defined by our past mistakes or future anxieties. We are free to experience life as it comes, without attachment, without fear, and without resistance. This is the true power of mindfulness meditation, the ability to live fully, to heal, and to... As we continue this journey of healing, remember this: you are not your thoughts, you are not your emotions, you are the awareness behind them. Mindfulness meditation opens the door to this awareness. And in that space of awareness, the healing process truly begins, not just in the body, but in the mind and spirit. So take a deep breath and step through the door. In this space, you will find peace, clarity, and a deeper connection to your true self. Keep walking this path with patience and compassion for yourself. The journey may be long, but every step brings you closer to the healing you seek. Mindful Eating, the Buddhist Path to Healing Without Drugs or Stress, Part 5. Let food be thy medicine, and medicine be thy food. Hippocrates, we've all heard the famous quote, but how many of us actually put it into practice? What if we told you the food you eat isn't just fuel for your body? What if it could be something much more? A powerful tool to heal not only your body, but also your mind. In this section, we're going to dive deep into how the Buddhist practice of mindfulness can completely transform the way we approach food. Mindful eating isn't just about what we eat, but how we eat. By practicing mindfulness during meals, we can turn something as simple as eating into a powerful act of self-care. It's an act that nourishes your body, your mind, and your spirit. It's not just about choosing healthier foods, but being fully present with the food we consume, truly appreciating it, and recognizing its power to heal. We will explore how this practice can be a profound healing tool, allowing us to not only nourish our bodies, but also cultivate mental peace, emotional balance, and a deeper connection with the present moment. Mindful eating allows us to rediscover our relationship with food, not as a source of guilt, shame, or stress, but as a form of nourishment and a means of healing from the inside out. So let's begin this journey, transforming your relationship with food and discovering the incredible power it holds in healing your mind and body. The importance of mindful eating. Mindful eating isn't about dieting or counting calories. It's about being fully present with your food, honoring it for what it is, and for the way it nourishes both your body and mind. In Buddhism, food is seen as a vital part of life. Buddha taught that eating should be a mindful activity, not something done on autopilot or in haste. By practicing mindful eating, we can transform even the most ordinary meal into a powerful ritual of healing and self-care. Mindful eating is grounded in several key principles. Gratitude. Acknowledge the food in front of you, recognize where it comes from, and take a moment to express gratitude for its presence. This simple act of gratitude can help us build a deeper connection with our food. Presence. Focus on the taste, texture, and aroma of each bite. Avoid eating in a rush or while distracted by screens or other tasks. When we are present, we can truly enjoy the experience of eating and better understand how the food nourishes us. Moderation. Eat only what you need and listen to your body's signals of hunger and fullness. Buddha emphasized eating in moderation to maintain balance within the body, helping us avoid overeating and promoting a sense of peace and harmony. By bringing these principles into our eating habits, we don't just nourish our bodies, but we also foster mindfulness, gratitude, and balance in our lives. Mindful eating can become an ongoing practice, turning each meal into an opportunity for healing, reflection, and deep connection with ourselves and the world around us. How mindful eating can heal the body. The benefits of mindful eating go far beyond just mental clarity. When we eat mindfully, we tap into a powerful tool, a tool for improving our digestion, reducing stress, and enhancing overall health. Studies have shown that eating slowly and mindfully offers several key benefits. Improves digestion. When we eat slowly, it gives our body the time it needs to break down and absorb nutrients properly. This can lead to better digestion, less bloating, and overall improved gut health. Reduces stress. Mindful eating promotes relaxation during meals by encouraging us to focus on the present moment. This activates the body's parasympathetic nervous system, the rest and digest mode, helping to lower stress levels. and aid digestion, increases satisfaction. Eating mindfully helps us tune into our body's hunger and fullness cues. This increased awareness helps prevent overeating by allowing us to recognize when we are satisfied, rather than continuing to eat out of habit or emotional reasons. Through mindful eating, we also begin to transform our relationship with food. Instead of seeing food as an emotional crutch or a source of stress, we start to view it as nourishment for both body and mind. This shift allows us to approach eating with greater intention, balance, and appreciation for the role food plays in our well-being. By practicing mindful eating, we cultivate better health, reduce stress, and build a deeper, more positive relationship with the food we consume. In Buddhism, food is viewed as a sacred gift, something that sustains not only our bodies, but also our minds and spirits. However, how we eat plays a crucial role. It impacts our physical health, yes, but also the quality of our thoughts and emotions. Buddha taught that eating should be done with mindfulness, gratitude, and respect. It's not just about filling our stomachs, but about recognizing the deeper significance of what we consume. Buddha encouraged both monks and laypeople to eat slowly, to savor each bite, to truly understand that food is not only physical nourishment, it is also spiritual food. When we eat mindfully, we cultivate a deeper connection, not just with the food on our plate, but with the earth, the farmers, and the entire journey the food has taken to reach us. This awareness helps us see food as a precious resource, rather than just a necessity. Eating mindfully transforms a simple act into a spiritual practice. With each bite, we honor the life force the food provides, and by doing so, we nourish our bodies and minds. Through this practice, we connect with something greater, something beyond ourselves. We foster gratitude and reverence in every meal. The science behind mindful eating. It's no surprise that mindful eating has significant health benefits, and modern research has confirmed this. Prevents overeating. Studies show that people who practice mindful eating are less likely to overeat. When we eat without distractions, we become better at tuning into our body's natural hunger and fullness signals. This awareness allows us to stop eating when we're satisfied, rather than continuing out of habit or emotion. Reduces stress. Research has also found that mindful eating can lower cortisol, the stress hormone, and improve mood. By slowing down and focusing on each bite, we signal to our body that it's time to relax. This helps reduce anxiety and promotes better digestion, improves relationship with food. People who practice mindful eating often report having a healthier relationship with food. They experience less guilt, shame, and emotional eating habits. By eating with intention and awareness, we shift our focus from using food for comfort to seeing it as a source of nourishment for both body and mind. Incorporating mindful eating into our lives isn't just about improving digestion. It's about fostering a balanced, healthy, and respectful relationship with food. And as science continues to show, this simple practice can have a profound impact on our physical and emotional well-being. How to practice mindful eating. Prepare your meal with intention. Before you even begin eating, take a moment to truly appreciate the food before you. Notice its colors, textures, and aroma. Feel grateful for the nourishment it will provide your body and mind. Eat slowly and savor each bite. As you eat, pay close attention to how the food feels in your mouth. Is it sweet, sour, salty, or bitter? What's the texture like, crunchy, smooth, or tender? Chew slowly, Allow yourself to fully enjoy the experience. Be present in the moment with each bite. Listen to your body's signals. Mindful eating means tuning into your body's natural cues. Pay attention to when you start to feel full. The goal is to stop eating when you're satisfied, not when you're stuffed or continuing out of habit. Trust your body's wisdom. Avoid distractions. Try to eat without distractions, like watching TV or scrolling through your phone. Focus entirely on the meal in front of you. Engage all your senses in the experience. This not only enhances your enjoyment, but helps you connect more deeply with the food you're consuming. By incorporating these simple practices into your daily meals, you can begin to transform how you relate to food, turning each meal into an opportunity for healing and mindfulness. Mindful eating to heal the mind. When we eat mindfully, we not only nourish our bodies, but we also heal our minds. Eating is one of the most intimate acts we perform daily, and the way we approach food can reveal a lot about our overall mindset. In Buddhist teachings, the mind and body are deeply interconnected. By treating our body with kindness and respect through mindful eating, we simultaneously nourish our minds. It allows us to become more aware of how our emotions influence our eating habits, whether we eat due to stress, sadness, or boredom. This awareness helps us create healthier, more mindful habits. Mindful eating encourages us to live in the present moment, appreciating the nourishment that food provides, not just for our bodies, but for our minds as well. By practicing mindfulness, we learn to cultivate a deeper connection to ourselves, allowing us to approach food and life with greater balance and clarity. Let me share a story about a woman named Maya. Maya struggled with an eating disorder for many years. She used food as a way to cope with deep emotional pain, no matter what she ate. She never felt truly satisfied. One day, Maya decided to try something different. She began practicing mindful eating. At first, it felt awkward. She was used to eating quickly, or eating while distracted, but gradually she started to slow down. Maya began to notice how the food made her feel, not just physically, but emotionally. She recognized the connection between her emotions and her eating habits. Over time, she realized that food was no longer an enemy. Instead, it became a tool for healing. Through mindful eating, Maya healed her relationship with food and her body. She found peace in nourishing herself with love and respect. In doing so, she healed not only her body, but her spirit as well. This story is a powerful reminder that food, when approached mindfully, can serve as a pathway to healing, restoring balance, self-love, and inner peace. Mindful eating and Buddha's teachings. Buddha's teachings on food emphasize moderation, gratitude, and awareness. He encouraged his followers to eat only what is necessary to sustain the body, and to be mindful throughout the entire process, from the preparation of the food to its consumption. In the Dhammapada, Buddha teaches, just as a flower does not pick and choose the bee, but lets the bee come and collect its nectar, so, O practitioner, live in the world, but do not become attached to it. Mindful eating is a way to live in this world, without becoming attached to it. It's a practice that allows us to be present with the nourishment we receive, while letting go of the need to control, manipulate, or overconsume. By practicing mindful eating, we cultivate a deeper awareness, not just of food, but of everything in life. We begin to appreciate the simple things, and realize that even the smallest actions, like eating a meal, can hold great significance. In this way, mindful eating aligns with Buddha's teachings, transforming an ordinary activity into a deeply spiritual and healing experience. It's not just about feeding the body. It's about nourishing the soul, living with intention, and embracing life's simplest yet most powerful moments. Mindful eating is a powerful practice that can heal both the body and the mind. It's an act of love, respect, and presence. By eating mindfully, we nourish ourselves on a deeper level, not just with food, but with the awareness that food is a gift. Mindful eating is not about restriction or control. It's about receiving food as a source of healing and allowing yourself to fully experience each moment with gratitude and presence. As we continue on this journey of healing, remember that the food we eat is not just nourishment, it's medicine for the body, mind, and soul. In every bite, we have the opportunity to connect with ourselves and the world around us. Through mindful eating, we embrace the healing power within the food we consume. And in doing so, we open the door to greater balance, peace, and wellness. So let's eat with intention, let's eat with love. And most importantly, let's eat with gratitude, knowing that each meal is an opportunity for healing, physically, emotionally, and spiritually. How to live deeply while still in pain. The Buddhist Path to Healing Without Drugs or Stress, Part 6. Suffering is inevitable, but pain is optional. Buddha, in our healing journey, we all reach a turning point, a time when we must face one of life's greatest challenges, living with pain, whether it's the sharp sting of physical injury, the ache of emotional distress, or the sorrow of loss. Pain is woven into the very fabric of our existence. We all encounter it at some point, and at those moments the question arises, how can we live fully and deeply? When the very act of living seems to bring us pain, Buddha's teachings on pain and suffering don't ask us to deny its existence. Rather, they offer a path to understanding, a way to coexist with pain, without letting it dominate our lives. Buddha teaches that pain, when approached with mindfulness and acceptance, can become a powerful catalyst for spiritual growth and the cultivation of inner peace. This leads us to the paradox of suffering. How can we transform pain into a path of healing? In this section, we'll explore how to live deeply, even while in pain, through mindfulness, acceptance, and transformation. We'll uncover that pain doesn't have to diminish our lives. In fact, it can teach us valuable lessons, bring profound insights, and open the door to joy, purpose, and peace, no matter what challenges we face. Let's explore together how we can not just endure, but thrive even in the presence of pain. Pain is something we all encounter. It's universal. From the moment we are born, we are exposed to physical discomfort, emotional turmoil, and spiritual suffering. These experiences shape our lives. At some point, every one of us must face them. But in Buddhism, pain is not something we should fear or avoid. It's something we must learn to understand. Buddha teaches us that suffering is an unavoidable part of life. It's a fundamental truth, something we cannot escape. However, he also revealed that the mental and emotional suffering we attach to pain is not a given. We have a choice in how we respond. We can approach pain with resistance and fear, or we can meet it with acceptance and awareness. The pain itself, whether physical or emotional, is not the root of the problem. The real challenge arises when we cling to pain, when we make it a part of our identity. When we identify with pain as something permanent, something unchangeable, we begin to prolong our suffering. But when we embrace pain as a natural part of life, something we are meant to experience, we begin to transform it. Through acceptance and awareness, we can turn pain from a source of suffering into a source of wisdom. Pain, when understood deeply, can guide us, teaching us about our own resilience, bringing us closer to the essence of who we truly are. By accepting pain instead of fighting it, we free ourselves from the cycle of suffering, allowing it to become a stepping stone toward healing and spiritual growth. Pain doesn't have to define us. It can be a teacher, a guide, and a powerful catalyst for transformation. Pain as the gateway to awareness. One of the most profound insights in Buddhism is that pain can be a teacher. When we encounter pain, whether it's physical or emotional, it often forces us to pause. It demands our attention, pulling us into the present moment. In that space, we can no longer escape into distractions, fears, or the weight of the past. In this way, pain becomes a gateway to awareness. It urges us to reflect on our lives, our habits, our thoughts, and our emotions. Pain challenges us to transcend our limitations, break free from old patterns, and open our hearts to a deeper understanding of ourselves and the world around us. Rather than seeing pain as a sign of weakness or failure, we can begin viewing it as an opportunity for awakening. Through mindfulness, we can learn to observe our pain without allowing it to consume us. We can breathe through it, sit with it, and let it pass without clinging to it. This shift in perspective allows us to see pain not as an enemy, but as a powerful tool for growth. Through this practice, we discover that we are not defined by our pain. We are the awareness behind it, capable of transcending it and embracing the wisdom it brings. The power of acceptance. Acceptance is one of the most transformative tools in the healing process. When we accept pain, we stop fighting it. We stop wishing it away. We stop identifying it as part of who we are. Acceptance doesn't mean resignation. It doesn't mean we give up on healing or seeking relief. It simply means we acknowledge pain as it is, without judgment, without resistance. Buddha's teachings on acceptance are deeply rooted in the understanding of impermanence. Everything is temporary. Pain, like all things, will eventually pass. The more we resist pain, the more we strengthen its grip on us. But when we accept it, we begin to open ourselves to healing. Acceptance isn't about passivity. It's about actively letting go of resistance, allowing us to move forward with peace. By embracing pain as a natural part of our experience, we make space for growth and transformation. Through acceptance, we free ourselves not from the pain itself, but from the suffering that comes from fighting it. Mindfulness in pain, a meditation practice. When we're in pain, it's easy to get caught up in negative thoughts, fear, or frustration. The mind can spiral, amplifying the pain we're already feeling. But mindfulness meditation offers us a way to break free from these patterns. Mindfulness teaches us to focus on the present moment, to observe our thoughts, emotions, and physical sensations without judgment. This practice is particularly powerful when we're experiencing pain. It helps create space between ourselves and the pain. Instead of becoming consumed by it, we learn to be with it, without letting it define us. To practice mindfulness in pain, follow these steps. 1. Sit in a comfortable position, allowing yourself to relax and breathe freely. 2. Focus on your breath. Notice how the air enters and leaves your body. 3. Check in with your body. Gently scan for areas of discomfort. Where do you feel pain? 4. Observe the pain without judgment. Simply notice the sensation. Is it sharp, aching, or throbbing? 5. Breathe into the pain. Allow yourself to sit with it without trying to change or push it away. 6. Notice how the pain may shift. Does it change in intensity or quality as you continue to observe it? Through this exercise, you'll learn that pain does not control you. You control how you relate to it. And in that relationship, the healing process begins. By practicing mindfulness, we create a space where pain can exist without overwhelming us. And in that space, healing can flourish. The role of compassion in pain. One of the most transformative practices in Buddhism is cultivating compassion toward ourselves and others. Compassion is not just about feeling sympathy. It's about actively wishing to alleviate the suffering of ourselves and others. It's about holding ourselves and others in a space of love and kindness, especially during moments of pain. When we experience pain, it's easy to become consumed by it. We might get caught in self-pity, frustration, or resentment, but through compassion, we can shift our focus. Instead of letting pain take center stage, we can cultivate a loving awareness that holds both our pain and ourselves with kindness. Compassion softens the edges of pain. It helps us feel connected to others, knowing that we are not alone in our suffering. This connection brings comfort and a sense of solidarity, reminding us that, like others, we too are deserving of compassion. It also reminds us that pain, like everything else, is impermanent. Through compassion, we can face pain without fear, knowing that it will pass. In the meantime, we hold ourselves with love and understanding. In this way, compassion becomes a powerful tool in the healing process. It allows us to move through pain not as victims, but as people who are healing, growing, and becoming more connected to the essence of who we are. Let me share the story of Sarah, a woman in her 40s who had lived with chronic back pain for many years. Doctors had tried countless treatments, but nothing seemed to work. She was frustrated, tired, and ready to give up. One day, Sarah decided to attend a mindfulness meditation retreat. She had heard about the healing power of mindfulness, and though skeptical, she was willing to try anything that might bring her relief. During the retreat, she learned something profound: how to be present with her pain, not to avoid it or try to fix it, but to truly be with it. At first, the pain was overwhelming. It felt like an unshakable weight, and Sarah was unsure how to handle it. But as she continued practicing mindfulness, something inside her began to shift. Sarah realized that her pain wasn't just physical, it was emotional too. She had carried years of unresolved sadness and anger from her childhood. Her body had been holding onto these emotions, and they had manifested as chronic pain. Through mindfulness and compassion, she started to gently release these buried feelings. The pain didn't disappear overnight, and it wasn't easy, but with time and practice, the intensity lessened. Sarah discovered that the pain, while still present, didn't control her anymore. She had learned to live with it, not as her enemy, but as a part of her healing journey. Through mindfulness, Sarah found a new perspective. She realized that healing wasn't about eradicating pain, but about learning to coexist with it. And in this process, she not only healed physically, but emotionally and spiritually as well. Sarah's story is a powerful reminder that through compassion, mindfulness, and presence, we can transform our relationship with pain. Instead of fighting it, we can learn to embrace it, and in doing so, open the door to deep healing and growth. Healing through presence, living with pain, not in pain. In Buddhism, we are taught to live in the present moment, fully aware and engaged with the here and now. When we are in pain, it's easy to project that pain into the future, thinking that it will never end, that we'll always feel this way. We worry about how it will affect us tomorrow, next week, or for the rest of our lives, but the truth is the present moment is where healing happens. Healing doesn't happen in the future. It happens right now, in this very moment. In the midst of pain, we have the opportunity to find peace, not by wishing the pain away or ignoring it, but by being fully present with it. When we practice mindfulness and acceptance, we can learn to live with pain rather than being consumed by it. Instead of allowing pain to define us, we can learn to sit with it, observe it, and experience it without letting it overwhelm us. We begin to realize that pain is not our enemy. It's part of the human experience, something we all go through. And just like every other experience, it carries with it powerful lessons. Pain can teach us resilience. It can show us our inner strength, our ability to endure, transform, and grow. By learning to live with pain rather than in it, we start to discover a deeper sense of peace and wisdom. In the present moment, we are no longer victims of pain. We are active participants in our healing journey. Through mindfulness, we reclaim our power to choose how we relate to pain. And in doing so, we open ourselves to profound healing and transformation. The transformative power of pain. Through mindfulness, compassion, and acceptance, we have the power to transform pain into a powerful tool for growth. Pain no longer needs to be something we avoid or resist. Instead, it becomes a teacher, an invitation to awaken, to live more deeply, and to be more present in every moment. When we face pain with mindfulness, we step into the present, embracing what is without fear or judgment. It's no longer a burden that weighs us down. It becomes a catalyst for transformation. By accepting pain, we open ourselves to inner rebirth. This rebirth isn't about escaping pain, but rather about living through it with grace, awareness, and love. Instead of trying to push it away or wishing it were different, we lean into it. We allow it to unfold, knowing that it will not define us, but will in time teach us valuable lessons about strength, resilience, and compassion. Pain, when embraced fully, becomes an opportunity to evolve. It's a chance to shed old layers and emerge stronger, more connected to our true selves, and more compassionate toward others. In this way, pain ceases to be a source of suffering and becomes a path to spiritual awakening. Through this process, we realize that we can live deeply and fully, even while experiencing pain. It's not about the absence of pain. It's about our ability to hold space for it and to move through it with awareness, love, and peace. Ultimately, pain is not something we can avoid. It's an inherent part of life. But through mindfulness and compassion, we can learn to live with it in a way that transforms our pain into wisdom. It becomes not a burden, but a guide, leading us toward deeper self-awareness and understanding. Healing doesn't mean the absence of pain. It means learning to live with pain in a way that allows us to embrace life fully. By accepting pain, by opening our hearts to it, we unlock a profound doorway to deeper understanding, growth, and peace. Pain can teach us powerful lessons. It shows us our inner strength, resilience, and our ability to remain grounded no matter what life brings. The path to enlightenment is not about escaping suffering. It's about transforming it into wisdom, love, and compassion. So remember, healing is not about living without pain. It's about living deeply with it, allowing it to teach us, and opening ourselves to the peace and wisdom that arise from our willingness to face and embrace our pain. The power of silence and slowness. The Buddhist path to healing without drugs or stress, Part 7. In silence, we find the truth that the noise of the world has obscured. Buddha. In today's fast-paced world, we're constantly surrounded by noise. Not just the external clamor, but the internal hum as well, from the buzzing of technology to the endless chatter of our minds. It can feel like we're drowning in a sea of constant activity. But in all this rush, we risk losing something crucial, something that lies just beneath the surface, our connection to the present moment. Our deeper selves, silence, slowness, and spiritual connection. These are powerful healing tools. They offer us the chance to reconnect with our inner peace, to listen to the wisdom that lives within our body and mind, and to find clarity in the midst of chaos. In this section, we'll explore something transformative, how silence and slowness aren't just practices, they're remedies. Remedies that allow us to heal in ways modern medicine can't. The power of silence, the medicine of stillness. In Buddhism, silence isn't just the absence of sound. It's a presence in itself. Silence isn't merely empty space, it's a vital, nourishing energy. A space where we can reconnect with our deepest selves and the world around us. When we embrace silence, we step into a realm of profound stillness, a space where we can truly listen. Not just with our ears, but with our hearts, our minds, and our entire being. In silence, we can hear the gentle whispers of our hearts, the subtle messages our bodies are sending us, and the deep wisdom of the universe itself. In the hustle and bustle of daily life, we're constantly bombarded with noise. The clamor of technology, the endless chatter in our minds, the constant demands on our time and energy. It all contributes to a state of distraction, a rush of constant movement. But it is only in stillness that we can truly listen, reflect, and awaken to the truth that lies within us. Silence offers us a rare opportunity to reflect, to connect, to awaken. When we step away from the noise and clutter of our everyday lives, we create space, space to understand, space to heal, space to grow. In this sacred space of silence, we can observe our thoughts and emotions without judgment, allowing them to come and go freely without attachment. This practice of silence is one of the most powerful forms of healing we have. It helps us release the constant pressure of external distractions and return to the center of who we truly are. In those quiet moments, we begin to hear truths that are often drowned out by the chaos of our busy world. Truths about our emotions, our thoughts, and our true nature. Through silence, we reclaim the peace that has always been within us. By slowing down and embracing stillness, we hear the wisdom of our bodies and minds, guiding us back to balance and harmony. And in that stillness, we uncover the profound healing potential that's always been there, waiting for us to listen. Slowness as a path to healing. In today's fast-paced world, we are constantly bombarded with pressure. Do more, work more, achieve more, consume more. From deadlines to digital distractions, the world moves faster every day. And we find ourselves caught in this perpetual rush. In a society that glorifies speed and productivity, we have forgotten one of the most profound tools for healing, the power of slowness. In our rush culture, we often overlook the beauty of slowing down. But when we consciously choose to slow down, we allow ourselves to breathe, to create space in our lives to pause and reflect, to be present with ourselves and the world around us. We step out of the cycle of endless striving and into a more peaceful, intentional existence. Slowness isn't about being lazy or unproductive. It's not about doing nothing. It's about doing everything with mindfulness and presence. Slowness is a practice of honoring each moment as it is, without rushing to the next task or distraction. When we slow down, we start to savor the small, everyday moments we often take for granted. The taste of food, the touch of a loved one, the sound of birds singing, the warmth of the sun on our skin, the quiet stillness of nature. In slowing down, we give ourselves permission to experience life fully. Instead of simply passing through it, we allow ourselves to be in the moment. Without the constant pressure of time looming over us, slowness creates room for rest, for reflection, and for reconnecting with the things that matter most in our lives. It's through this practice of slowness that we find space for healing. Our bodies, minds, and spirits need time to recover, reflect, and renew. And slowing down gives us that time. When we rush through life, we lose sight of our own needs, but when we choose slowness, We honor our inner rhythms and allow ourselves to heal in ways that constant movement and busyness cannot provide. By embracing slowness, we step onto a path of healing that leads to deeper understanding, greater peace, and a more balanced life. It's in these moments of pause that we reconnect with our essence, remember our purpose, and find the stillness that holds the key to true healing. Spiritual connection through silence and slowness. In Buddhism, the ultimate aim is to achieve mindfulness, a state of full presence in each moment, with awareness and clarity. Mindfulness is not just about noticing the world around us. It's about connecting with it on a deeper, more profound level. It's about returning to our true nature, a nature that is calm, peaceful, and deeply connected to everything that exists. But in our fast-paced, noisy world, we often forget how to reconnect with this true nature. We get caught up in the noise of our thoughts, the demands of daily life, and the constant rush to do more. In such a world, silence and slowness become essential practices for reawakening our inner stillness and fostering a spiritual connection with ourselves and the world around us. By embracing silence and slowness, we create a space where mindfulness can flourish. Silence is not simply the absence of sound, but the presence of awareness. It's the space where we can hear the whispers of our inner wisdom, the subtle messages from our body, and the truths that are often drowned out by the constant noise of the external world. When we slow down, we step out of the whirlwind of constant activity and into a place of stillness, where we can listen deeply to the world, both within and around us. When we embrace both silence and slowness, we begin to open the door to spiritual connection. This connection is not just with ourselves, but with everything around us. We start to feel the interconnectedness of all beings, all things, and the universe as a whole. It's a recognition that we are not separate from the world, but a part of it. And in this realization, we find peace, harmony, and a deeper understanding of our place in the world. In the silence, we are reminded that our essence is not just in what we do, but in how we are. In the slowness, we rediscover the sacredness of each moment, appreciating the world and ourselves. With a sense of wonder and gratitude, this practice of stillness and presence allows us to tap into a deeper spiritual connection that is always available to us, if we choose to listen. So when we slow down and embrace the silence, we not only find peace within ourselves, but we also open ourselves to the profound spiritual connection that is available in every moment. It's through this connection that we find true healing, joy, and a deep sense of belonging in this vast, interconnected world. Mindful walking, finding peace in every step. One of the most beautiful and accessible practices in Buddhism is mindful walking, a simple yet profound way to integrate mindfulness into our daily lives. It's not just about walking from one place to another. It's about walking with full awareness, making each step a practice of presence and connection. Mindful walking is exactly as it sounds, walking with full awareness of the present moment. Each step you take becomes an opportunity to connect with your body, your breath, and the world around you. As you walk, focus on the sensation of your feet touching the earth, the rhythm of your breath moving in and out, and the subtle movements of your body as it moves forward. This practice of mindful walking is a powerful reminder. Every step is an opportunity to be present. It's not about rushing from point A to point B, but about being fully immersed in the experience of walking itself. When we practice mindful walking, we slow down, allowing ourselves to be in tune with the world around us. And most importantly, with ourselves, it invites us to pause, take a breath, and notice the simple beauty of movement and stillness. Through mindful walking, we reconnect with the present moment and embrace the healing power of slowness. Each step becomes a prayer, a meditation, and a reminder that peace is always available to us, right here and right now. This practice brings us back to the earth, helping us feel grounded, balanced, and centered. Mindful walking helps us to quiet our minds, release distractions, and move in harmony with our surroundings. Whether you're walking in a park, down the street, or simply across the room, each step is an invitation to be mindful, to embrace stillness, and to cultivate inner peace. So next time you take a walk, remember, it's not just about reaching your destination, it's about the journey itself. With every step, you bring yourself closer to the present moment and experience peace, mindfulness, and connection with every movement. Silence and slowness in modern life. In today's fast-paced world, it often feels like there is no room for silence or slowness. We're constantly moving, physically, mentally, and emotionally, caught in the relentless pace of modern life. From the rush of our daily responsibilities to the distractions of technology, it can seem impossible to carve out moments of stillness. But the truth is, in this whirlwind, we cannot afford to overlook the profound power of silence and slowing down. Taking time for silence during our day is essential. It allows us to recharge both mentally and physically, whether it's just a few minutes of deep breathing before a meeting, sitting in quiet reflection in the morning, or taking a pause before bed. Silence offers a chance to reset our mind and body. These moments of stillness create a sanctuary amidst the noise of life, allowing us to clear the clutter and reconnect with our inner peace. Slowing down doesn't mean we need to stop everything we're doing. It simply means being intentional with our time. It's about recognizing when we need rest, and more importantly, honoring our body's need for pause. In a world that glorifies productivity, the true power lies in knowing when to slow down and savor the present moment. It's about being present with ourselves, with the people around us, and with life as it unfolds, without rushing through it. In Buddhism, the practice of stillness is not just a luxury, it is essential for deep spiritual growth. In moments of silence, we create the space for wisdom and insight to arise. When we become still, we stop being controlled by the constant stream of thoughts and distractions. We begin to see things as they truly are, without the filter of our ego or the noise of our racing minds. In these moments of quiet, we can access a deeper awareness, where clarity and truth emerge naturally. Silence and slowness are not opposites of action. They are a form of action in themselves. They are the means by which we cultivate inner strength, presence, and wisdom. By embracing stillness and taking time to slow down, we open ourselves to deeper understanding, compassion, and the space for healing. These practices invite us to slow down, breathe, and become more attuned to the flow of life, fostering greater peace and balance in the chaos of the modern world. The healing power of nature. One of the most profound ways to connect with silence and slowness is through nature. Nature offers us a sanctuary, a chance to step away from the relentless noise and chaos of modern life, and reconnect with the stillness and beauty that the natural world provides. In nature, we find a sacred space where we can breathe deeply, clear our minds, and rediscover our inner peace. Whether it's a peaceful walk in the park, a tranquil hike through the mountains, or simply sitting by the edge of a calm sea. Nature has an unparalleled ability to soothe our spirits and calm our minds. The rhythmic sound of waves crashing, the rustle of leaves in the wind, or the gentle chirping of birds. These sounds remind us of life's simplicity and harmony. Nature allows us to experience the present moment, without the weight of the world's distractions. In these moments of connection, we are reminded of the profound beauty of just being. The natural world is always there for us, constant, patient, and ever still. It is a space that allows us to exist without rushing, without judgment, and without the pressure of time. By immersing ourselves in nature, we create the opportunity to let go of the fast pace of modern life and simply be. It offers us a pause, a refuge, and a space to reconnect with our own essence. In Buddhism, nature is often seen as a reflection of the mind. Just as the ocean remains calm and peaceful when undisturbed, so too can our minds remain still and serene when not cluttered by distractions. The practice of connecting with nature is a form of meditation. It teaches us to quiet the constant chatter of our minds and to return to a state of clarity. Nature's rhythm, its inherent stillness, helps us return to our center, reminding us of our ability to find peace within. Nature also invites us into the present moment in a way that is simple, direct, and healing. There are no expectations, no demands, just the pure experience of being in the world. In this sacred space, we can learn to slow down and embrace the healing power of the natural world, allowing it to restore our balance, refresh our minds, and renew our spirits. Through nature, we discover that silence and slowness are not merely practices, but pathways to profound healing and deep connection with the world and ourselves. Let me share the story of Thomas, a man who spent most of his life in a rush. He was always on the go, working long hours, attending meetings, balancing family responsibilities. His life was a whirlwind, filled with endless tasks and to-do lists. Despite having everything he thought he wanted, a successful career, a loving family, and financial stability, there was always a sense of emptiness. He felt disconnected, as if something vital was missing, but he didn't know what it was. Over time, the stress of his fast-paced life began to take its toll. He was diagnosed with high blood pressure and chronic stress, both of which were increasingly affecting his health and his ability to enjoy life. His doctor told him that his lifestyle, the constant rush, the lack of rest, and the absence of meaningful stillness was severely compromising his well-being. At a crossroads, Thomas realized something. If he continued at this pace, his health would only worsen, and the emptiness would only grow. He decided to try something different, something he had never considered before: mindfulness. He started small, dedicating just 10 minutes each morning to sit in silence. He closed his eyes, focused on his breath, and tried to slow the chaotic thoughts racing through his mind. At first, it felt strange. His mind was so accustomed to the noise, the constant activity, and the sense of urgency. Stillness felt foreign, almost uncomfortable. But as the days passed, Thomas began to feel the power of that simple practice. He also incorporated mindful walking into his routine. Instead of rushing from one task to the next, he paid attention to every step. He focused on the sensation of his feet touching the earth, the rhythm of his breath, and the movements of his body. This practice grounded him in the present moment, allowing him to escape the grip of his thoughts and the stress of the past and future. Slowly, Thomas noticed a significant change. His stress levels dropped. His health began to improve. He felt lighter, more at ease, but the most profound shift was emotional. He began to reconnect with himself, his body, his thoughts, his emotions. For the first time in years, he experienced a deep sense of inner peace. Thomas came to realize that silence and slowness weren't luxuries. They were essential to his healing journey. By slowing down and embracing the stillness, he discovered a powerful remedy for the pressures and distractions of modern life. He had found a way to reconnect with the world around him, in a way that was nourishing and restorative. Mindfulness became his tool for self-care, helping him heal in ways no pill or treatment ever could. In the end, Thomas understood. Healing wasn't just about fixing what was broken. It was about learning to be present in the moment, embracing the peace that comes with silence, and finding purpose in the slowness of life. In our busy world, we often forget the power of stillness. We rush through life, moving from one task to the next, never pausing to breathe, reflect, or reconnect with ourselves. But healing requires us to slow down, to be present, and listen to the silence within. In that silence, we hear the wisdom of the body, the needs of the soul, and the call to return to wholeness. As we continue our healing journey, let us remember this. Silence is not the absence of sound. It is the presence of being. It is the space where we reconnect with our true selves, where we can hear the whispers of our soul and the wisdom that lies deep within us. Silence is not something to fear or avoid. It is the gateway to deeper truths about life. Truths that are often drowned out by the constant noise around us. Slowness, on the other hand, is not laziness. It is the practice of mindfulness, of being fully present in each moment. Slowing down enough to appreciate the small, beautiful moments of life. Moments that often pass us by in our rush to get to the next task. In slowness, we stop and savor the present. We breathe. We listen. We reconnect with what truly matters. And in that presence, we find healing. In today's modern world, where everything moves at lightning speed, and we are constantly bombarded with distractions, we must reclaim the medicine of silence and slowness. These practices are not luxuries. They are essential tools for healing, growth, and spiritual connection. By taking the time to slow down, to embrace the quiet, we create space for peace, for health, and for deeper understanding of ourselves and the world around us. So take a moment today to slow down, embrace the silence, and allow yourself to connect with your inner peace. In doing so, you will discover the profound healing power that lies within, ready to guide you to a life filled with more presence, more calm, and more clarity. In silence and slowness, we heal, we grow, and we thrive. You are not alone. The Buddhist Path to Healing Without Drugs or Stress, Part 8. Healing is not just healing for yourself, it is healing for the world. Buddha. On our healing journey, one of the most important truths we must accept is this: you are not alone. Although we often feel isolated in our pain, the reality is, we are all part of a much larger collective experience. This truth is not just an intellectual concept, but a profound spiritual realization. We are all connected, not only through our shared humanity, but also through our shared experiences of suffering, healing, and growth. The path to healing is not an individual journey. It is a collective one. In this section, we will explore how healing is not just a personal effort, but a collective one. We'll examine how community, compassion, and connection can help us heal, and how we can contribute to healing others as we walk together on this path. The power of community in healing. In Buddhism, there is a profound teaching about the Sangha, the community of practitioners, one of the three jewels or triratna that guides us on the path to enlightenment. The Sangha is not just a group of people. It is a community of like-minded individuals who walk the spiritual path together, offering support, encouragement, and wisdom to one another. When we think of healing, we often imagine it as a solitary journey, something we must do on our own. But in reality, healing is rarely something we can achieve alone. The process of healing is deeply interconnected with the community around us. And this is where the Sangha comes in. The Sangha, in the context of healing, represents much more than a group of people. It is the collective strength and support that arises when we connect with others. Whether it is a group of friends, a family, a therapy group, or a spiritual community, we find that the collective energy of a supportive network is essential for healing. When we are experiencing pain or hardship, it is easy to feel as though we are the only ones suffering. We may feel disconnected, isolated, and alone in our struggles. However, when we open our hearts and allow ourselves to connect with others, we quickly realize that we are not alone. The shared human experience of suffering is universal. And by connecting with others, we see that our pain is part of a larger collective reality. The strength of the community is not just in the shared experiences of pain, but also in the shared healing. As we open ourselves to others, we are not only supported by their love and compassion, but we also have the opportunity to support them in their healing process. Healing becomes a mutual exchange. As we heal, we help others heal. And in turn, their healing nourishes us as well. When we are part of a healing community, we are constantly reminded that we are not doing this alone. Whether through the encouragement of a friend, the guidance of a mentor, or the simple act of sitting in silence with others, the community supports our growth and transformation. Each person in the community brings their unique experiences, wisdom, and energy, contributing to a collective healing that is far more powerful than any solitary effort. In this way, the Sangha teaches us that healing is not just a personal effort. It is a shared journey. We heal not just for ourselves, but for each other. As we work together to heal our wounds, we become stronger as a collective. The love, compassion, and support we offer one another become the foundation for our collective healing and growth. Through community, we learn to open our hearts, embrace our shared humanity, and trust that we are never alone in our struggles. In the strength of the Sangha, we find the power to heal together, creating a ripple of peace, love, and healing that extends far beyond ourselves. Healing together, the importance of connection. There is a profound and transformative healing power in connection. Whether it's through a supportive family, a close friend, or a compassionate community, the act of connecting with others is an essential part of the healing process. In Buddhism, the concept of interdependence is one of its core teachings. This means that we are not isolated individuals moving through life alone. Instead, we are part of a vast, interconnected web of existence. Our lives, our suffering, and our joy are all intertwined with the lives, suffering, and joy of others. When we help someone else, we are in turn helping ourselves. And when we heal others, we also begin to heal ourselves. Healing, in this sense, isn't just about self-care or focusing inward. It is also about caring for others, by showing up for those who are in pain, by listening to their suffering with an open heart, and by offering compassion, we contribute to our own healing process. It is through these acts of love and support that a cycle of healing begins to form. A cycle that creates a ripple effect, benefiting everyone involved. This interdependence reminds us that we are not alone in our struggles or our triumphs. By connecting with others, we find that healing becomes a shared experience. the more we show love and kindness, the more we create an environment where everyone's pain is acknowledged and addressed. And in return, we find healing for ourselves. The importance of connection cannot be overstated. It is a powerful reminder that we are all in this together. By fostering meaningful relationships and offering support to one another, we create a space where true healing can occur, not just for ourselves, but for everyone in the community. Through this collective healing, we build a stronger, more compassionate world for all. Healing is not only a personal journey, but a shared responsibility. On a larger scale, the process of healing extends beyond ourselves and touches the entire world. In Buddhism, there is a deep understanding that all beings are interconnected, meaning our actions, thoughts, and emotions influence the world around us. When we heal ourselves, we are contributing to the healing of the world. The peace we cultivate within ourselves ripples outward, creating a more peaceful and compassionate world. And when we heal others, we are also nurturing the collective happiness of humanity. Healing in this sense is not just an individual pursuit. It is a spiritual mission. We heal not only for our own benefit, but also for the greater good of all sentient beings. Each act of healing contributes to the collective well-being, creating a cycle of compassion and healing that expands beyond borders, communities, and individuals. This is why compassion is at the core of Buddhist teachings. True compassion goes beyond simple empathy. It is a call to action, an active effort to alleviate the suffering of others. By recognizing that in healing others, we are also healing ourselves. Compassion becomes a powerful, transformative force that unites all of us in the common goal of alleviating suffering. In this way, healing becomes not just a personal process, but a collective one. As we take responsibility for our own healing, we simultaneously take responsibility for the healing of the world. Together, through compassion and action, we can create a more harmonious and loving world for all beings. The healing power of compassionate action. Compassion is not just a feeling we experience within ourselves. It's a call to action that drives us to help others. It goes beyond mere sympathy or pity. It's the deep-rooted desire to relieve the suffering of those around us. Compassionate action can take many forms: helping a friend through a difficult time, volunteering to support those in need, or even just offering a listening ear to someone who feels unheard. These simple acts have the power to heal not just the person being helped, but also ourselves. In Buddhism, the concept of karuna, which means compassion, is considered an action of the heart. It's more than just feeling for someone. It's about actively engaging with their pain and responding with care, understanding, and love. Compassionate action involves stepping into the shoes of another, acknowledging their suffering, and offering our love and support in whatever way we can. This is the foundation of healing, as it opens our hearts and extends a bridge of connection between us and the world around us. When we act with compassion, we remind ourselves that we are not alone in our suffering. Life is full of challenges, but it is also full of shared experiences. Every person at some point experiences pain, joy, struggle, and triumph. By offering compassion to others, we tap into a universal human connection that transcends individual experience. We no longer feel isolated in our own difficulties, because we are part of a much larger community, one that feels and understands the same human emotions. What's more, when we share in the suffering of others, it creates a sense of unity, belonging, and collective healing. It reminds us that we are all interconnected, Our compassion for others strengthens the bonds between us, creating an environment where healing is not just an individual journey, but a communal one. We uplift others through acts of love and care, and in return, we are also healed. Because helping others brings us a deep sense of purpose, fulfillment, and peace. Compassionate action, therefore, isn't just about helping others. It's about healing ourselves through the process. The more we give, the more we receive. When we dedicate ourselves to alleviating the suffering of others, we open ourselves to a deeper understanding of the world, a greater connection with those around us, and a more profound sense of peace within ourselves. Compassion has the power to transform us. Through our acts of kindness, we begin to see the world not as a place of suffering, but as a place full of opportunities to heal, grow, and connect. And by embracing this power of compassionate action, we not only heal others, but we heal the world, one small act of love at a time. Healing through compassionate listening. One of the simplest yet most profound forms of compassionate action is listening. In a world where everyone is often too busy or distracted, the gift of truly listening can be incredibly healing. When we listen to someone who is suffering, we offer them more than just our ears. We offer our presence. We allow them the space to be heard, to express their pain, and to feel understood without judgment. Compassionate listening is not about providing solutions, offering advice, or fixing the problem. It's about simply creating space for someone to share their experience. It's about being fully present with them in that moment, without rushing in to solve their feelings. This kind of listening is a deeply empathic act, where we allow others to release the emotions they might otherwise have kept bottled up inside. In these moments, we don't have to say anything at all. Just listening attentively is enough. We create a safe space for vulnerability, where the person can open up, knowing they won't be judged or dismissed. This act of being fully present allows them to express their pain freely, without the pressure of having to fix it or put on a brave face. Compassionate listening builds trust and fosters love. It strengthens the bond between the listener and the speaker, as it conveys that they are not alone in their suffering. It shows them that someone cares deeply about their well-being and is willing to sit with their pain, not with the aim of changing it, but with the intention of sharing it. In that shared space, healing happens. When we listen with compassion, something magical occurs. Both the person speaking and the person listening experience healing. The person speaking feels a sense of relief and validation, knowing that their pain matters. And the listener, too, feels the power of connection, knowing that by being present for someone else, they are helping to ease their suffering. In the act of listening, both hearts are touched, and healing begins. In essence, compassionate listening allows us to create deep, meaningful connections. It's a gift that requires no grand gestures, just the willingness to be present, to truly listen, and to hold space for someone else's journey. And through this, we heal not only the person speaking, but ourselves as well. Healing through shared stories. One of the most powerful ways we can connect and heal as a community is through the sharing of stories. Stories have a unique ability to create deep connections between us. They remind us that no matter what we go through, whether it's pain, joy, challenges, or triumphs, we are never truly alone in our experiences. Every story we hear or tell helps us see ourselves in others. When we listen to someone else's journey, we often recognize pieces of our own story reflected back to us. It's in this recognition that healing begins. We understand that our struggles are not isolated. They are part of a shared human experience, and it's through this shared vulnerability that we begin to feel understood and less alone in the world. Buddhism teaches us that the stories we tell about ourselves are not set in stone. They are narratives that we create, shaped by our perspectives, experiences, and interpretations. These stories can either confine us or free us, depending on how we choose to tell them. By sharing our stories, our truths, we not only forge connections with others, but also open the door to personal transformation. When we speak our truths, we give others the chance to see us. And in return, we learn to see ourselves in new ways. But it's not just about telling our own stories. Listening to someone else's story is just as important. When we truly listen to another person's experience, we are reminded that their pain, their joy, their growth, and their healing are not so different from ours. In those moments, we experience a powerful connection that transcends differences and unites us as human beings. It is in these moments of shared vulnerability and understanding that we realize we are not alone in our suffering. When we share our own story, we offer a piece of ourselves to the world, and in doing so, we contribute to a collective healing. Our personal journey becomes a bridge, connecting our hearts to others, and creating an opportunity for shared empathy, compassion, and healing. Through shared stories, we not only heal ourselves, but also contribute to the healing of others. Each story we tell and each story we listen to builds a more compassionate, understanding world. The more we connect through our narratives, the stronger the fabric of humanity becomes. The global path to healing. In today's interconnected world, we are more aware than ever of the suffering that exists beyond our immediate surroundings. Whether it's poverty, violence, injustice, or environmental destruction, the pain and struggles of others are always present, sometimes just a heartbeat away. The challenges we face are not isolated to our own lives. They echo across the globe, affecting individuals, communities, and ecosystems in ways we cannot ignore. Buddhism teaches a powerful concept called Bodhisattva, which translates to the awakened heart of compassion. Bodhisattva is the wish to attain enlightenment, not only for ourselves but for the benefit of all beings. It's a profound understanding that the happiness, well-being, and liberation of others are inseparable from our own. When we experience joy, peace, or healing, we are reminded that the ultimate fulfillment comes not just from our individual growth, but from the collective flourishing of all living beings. Practicing Bodhisattva means opening our hearts to the world. It's recognizing that the suffering of others, whether far or near, is something we all share in the tapestry of existence. By extending compassion, understanding, and action beyond ourselves, we can begin to create a ripple effect of healing that reaches across borders and cultures. Our personal healing is intertwined with the healing of the planet and every sentient being that calls it home. When we cultivate Bodhisattva, we see the interconnectedness of life more clearly. It reminds us that we are not separate from the world, we are part of it. The Earth's suffering, the pain of our fellow humans, and the cries of those without a voice are not disconnected from our own journey. Healing then becomes a global effort. It's not just about our own happiness or fulfillment, but about the happiness and well-being of all beings. As we continue on our individual healing journeys, let us not forget the larger picture. Our healing is a step toward collective healing. Every act of compassion we extend, every step we take toward understanding the world's suffering, and every effort to care for the planet is a contribution to the global healing process. When we heal, the world heals. And when the world heals, we too are healed. Healing is no longer just an individual pursuit, it's a collective mission. When we embrace this understanding, we open the doors to a future of compassion, unity, and shared peace for all. Let me share with you the story of Maya, a remarkable woman whose life's work has been dedicated to helping refugees fleeing war-torn countries. For years, Maya has found herself in the heart of crisis zones, offering aid, support, and comfort to those whose lives have been devastated by violence and conflict. Despite the horrific circumstances she faced, Maya discovered something profoundly beautiful in her work peace. It wasn't peace in the traditional sense, the kind that comes from being free of hardship. No, her peace came from understanding a deeper truth. Healing doesn't come from fixing every problem or eradicating every pain. It comes from offering love, compassion, and presence in the face of unimaginable suffering. Through her work, Maya learned that by giving herself to others, by standing alongside those who are hurting, she was not only alleviating their pain, but healing her own heart as well. She realized that true healing isn't just about curing the wounds of the body. It's about healing the soul through connection, understanding, and empathy. Maya's story serves as a powerful reminder of our shared humanity. We are all interconnected. When one person suffers, we all suffer. And when one person heals, that healing ripples out, touching everyone. Her work wasn't just about helping others. It was about contributing to the collective healing of humanity. In her acts of compassion, Maya embodied the truth that healing is not a solitary journey. It's a collective effort, one that unites us all. When we reach out to help, we don't just heal the other person. We heal ourselves, and we heal the world around us. Maya's life's work is proof that love and compassion can transform not only individuals, but entire communities. The connection of all beings. As we journey through healing, it's important to remember, healing is not just a personal endeavor. It's a shared experience. We are all part of a greater whole, and our healing is intrinsically linked with the healing of others. When we heal ourselves, we are contributing to the collective happiness of all beings. In Buddhism, there is no separation between self and other. We are all interconnected, and the actions we take, whether large or small, have an impact beyond ourselves. Our actions ripple out into the world, either creating more suffering or fostering healing. The path to healing requires us to recognize we are not isolated from the world around us. Every step we take towards healing is a step that can inspire and heal those around us as well. Take responsibility for your own healing, not just for your benefit, but for the benefit of all. When we heal with compassion, when we extend love and kindness to others, we become part of a greater healing process. We contribute to the collective healing of humanity, creating a world where peace, love, and understanding flourish. By nurturing ourselves, we nurture the world, and as we heal, we help to heal the hearts and minds of others, bringing us closer to a harmonious existence, where all beings are cared for and loved. As we walk the path of healing, always remember, you are not alone. We are all part of a vast, interconnected network of beings, each of us sharing in the experiences of both pain and joy. Our healing process is not a solitary journey. It is a collective one. When we support each other with compassion, we create a world that becomes more loving, peaceful, and whole. Healing is not simply about fixing ourselves. It is about healing the world around us. When we offer love, kindness, and compassion to others, we not only heal ourselves, but we contribute to the happiness and well-being of everyone. In the end, Our collective healing, our shared compassion, is what will guide us all to a brighter, more connected future. Together we heal, together we grow, and together we create a world where everyone thrives. Everyday healing tools. The Buddhist path to healing without medication or stress. Final part. Healing is not something that happens in the future. It is happening right now. Healing is a journey, not a destination. Buddha. As we come to the final chapter of this transformative journey, we find ourselves at an important crossroads. The point of integration. Healing is not an isolated event, nor is it an instant breakthrough, achieved in a fleeting moment of sudden enlightenment. It is a long-term process, a continuous journey that unfolds gradually, with each new moment offering an opportunity for growth and healing. Throughout this series, we have explored profound tools and practices rooted in Buddhist teachings that allow us to heal both physically and mentally. The practices of mindfulness, compassion, awareness, silence, and slowness. They are not just lofty ideals, they are tangible tools we can employ in our daily lives to heal ourselves and the world around us. Healing, we have learned, is not a passive waiting for something to happen in the future. It is an active, ongoing practice, a consistent choice we make in each moment of our lives. Now, as we reach the conclusion of this journey, it's time to gather the threads of all the wisdom shared, and most importantly, put them into action. In this final section, we will reflect on the key lessons we've learned, and more importantly, we'll explore practical tools and daily exercises that can help sustain the healing process. These tools are simple, accessible, and based on both ancient Buddhist wisdom and modern scientific insights. They are designed to help you live fully, heal deeply, and find inner peace. No matter where you are on your journey, the journey of healing is far from over. It is a lifelong process, but each step you take brings you closer to the peace, wholeness, and vitality you deserve. Key lessons from the healing journey. Before we dive into the practical exercises, let's pause to reflect on the core lessons we've learned throughout this journey of healing. 1. Healing begins with awareness. Healing begins with awareness. Being present in the moment, recognizing your thoughts, feelings, and physical sensations. It's about becoming aware of your body and mind, not just in moments of crisis, but in everyday life. Without awareness, healing cannot take place, because we cannot address something that we are not fully aware of. Awareness allows us to observe pain without being consumed by it. It's a vital first step in transforming suffering into wisdom. In Buddhism, awareness is foundational to the practice of mindfulness. This practice allows us to live in the present moment, acknowledging the thoughts and emotions that arise, without judgment or attachment. It is from this space of awareness that we can begin to heal. Mindful awareness is not simply about noticing what's happening. It's about engaging with life fully, with an open heart, and a willingness to observe without interference. By becoming aware, we can begin to recognize the patterns that contribute to our suffering, whether they are habitual thoughts, physical tensions, or emotional imbalances. Through awareness, we create the space to change these patterns and create new, healthier ways of being. 2. Compassion is the heart of healing. Compassion is the heart of healing. It's not just an antidote to suffering. It is the energy that fuels healing. Compassion involves both kindness and understanding, and it's a dynamic force that extends to both ourselves and others. To heal, we must learn to treat ourselves with the same compassion. We would offer a dear friend who is suffering. In the Buddhist tradition, karuna, compassion, is the foundation of all healing practices. Through compassion, we open ourselves up to the pain of others, without turning away or distancing ourselves. By offering compassion to ourselves, we create the environment for our own healing to flourish. Self-compassion is often the hardest to practice, because we tend to be our harshest critics. But through compassionate mindfulness, we can soften the inner dialogue and become our own greatest source of comfort. Compassion not only alleviates suffering, but it also creates a pathway for connection. It strengthens relationships, fosters empathy, and allows for the collective healing of communities. By being compassionate toward others, we are contributing to the larger cycle of healing, which in turn helps heal ourselves. Healing is relational. When we share our hearts, we create more space for healing in our lives. 3. Silence and slowness are medicine for the soul. In a world that celebrates speed, silence and slowness are transformative practices that restore balance to our fast-paced lives. Silence is not just the absence of sound. It's a sacred space that allows us to hear the deeper wisdom within ourselves. It's in silence that we connect with our inner peace. And when we embrace this space, we often uncover clarity, insight, and healing. The practice of slowing down is equally important. In Buddhism, there is a concept known as right effort, which means to avoid overexertion and to embrace a pace that is sustainable, balanced, and mindful. Slowness is not laziness. Rather, it's a way of being present with each moment. It's about creating space to reflect, to be, and to feel, without rushing to the next task or goal. Mindful slowness gives us the ability to experience life more fully. When we rush, we miss the present moment, and with it, the opportunity for deep healing. Slowing down allows us to listen to our bodies, our hearts, and the world around us, in a way that encourages deep healing. 4. Pain is a teacher, not an enemy. Pain is an inevitable part of life, whether it's physical, emotional, or spiritual. Pain shows up in many forms, but pain is not the enemy, it is the teacher. Pain is a messenger that helps us understand where we are stuck and what we need to address in our lives. In Buddhism, suffering, dukkha, is acknowledged as part of the human condition, but it is not something to resist or run from. Rather, it is something to face, observe, and understand. Pain teaches us where we need to grow, where we need to let go, and what we need to heal. When we stop fearing pain and start accepting it as part of the healing process, we can begin to transform our suffering. Rather than avoiding pain, we can welcome it as an opportunity for deep learning. Pain is a doorway, a passageway to wisdom and growth. By embracing it with acceptance and mindfulness, we allow it to lead us to greater understanding. 5. You are not alone in your suffering. Healing is a collective journey. We are all interconnected, and the healing of one contributes to the healing of all. We are not alone in our suffering. We are part of a collective human experience. When we share our pain with others, we not only relieve our own burden, but we also help lighten the load of those around us. In Buddhism, there is a teaching of interdependence, the idea that we are all connected through the web of life. Our actions, thoughts, and emotions affect those around us, and vice versa. This interconnectedness means that our healing is linked to the healing of others. When we heal, we help the world heal. And when we support others in their healing, we strengthen our own. Community is essential in the healing process. Just as we benefit from the support of others, we also contribute to the healing of the collective. When we offer our compassion, love, and presence, we are part of a larger whole. and our healing is intricately tied to the healing of others. Daily healing tools. Now that we've reviewed the key lessons of healing, it's time to integrate these teachings into your daily life. Below are 5 practical tools that can support your ongoing healing process. These exercises are rooted in both Buddhist philosophy and modern science, designed to be simple, accessible, and effective. 1. Mindful breathing, the foundation of awareness. Breathing is something we do all day, every day, but we rarely pay attention to it. Mindful breathing is the practice of focusing on your breath as a way to center yourself and cultivate awareness. It's a powerful tool for grounding yourself in the present moment, calming your mind, and reducing stress. How to practice. Sit in a comfortable position with your spine straight. Close your eyes and take a deep breath in through your nose, filling your lungs completely. Slowly exhale through your mouth, releasing any tension or negative energy. Continue breathing deeply, focusing on the sensation of your breath entering and leaving your body. If your mind begins to wander, gently bring your attention back to your breath without judgment. Start with just 5 minutes each day, and gradually increase your practice as you feel more comfortable. This exercise can be done anywhere at any time and can help you return to the present moment, allowing you to connect with your body and mind. 2. Loving-kindness meditation, cultivating compassion. Loving-kindness meditation, or metta, is a powerful practice for cultivating compassion and kindness toward yourself and others. By repeating well-wishing phrases, you can open your heart and strengthen your emotional resilience. How to practice. Find a quiet, comfortable space and close your eyes. Start by offering loving kindness to yourself. May I be happy. May I be healthy. May I live with ease. Next, extend these wishes to others. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you live with ease. You can also expand this practice to include loved ones, acquaintances, and even those with whom you have difficult relationships. This practice fosters compassion and emotional healing, helping to create a sense of connection with others and reduce feelings of isolation. 3. Mindful eating, nourishing your body and mind. Mindful eating is an essential practice for developing a healthy relationship with food. It encourages you to be present with your meals, to savor every bite, and to cultivate gratitude for the nourishment you receive. How to practice. Sit down to eat in a quiet, distraction-free environment. Focus on the appearance, texture, and taste of your food. Chew slowly, savoring each bite, and fully experiencing the flavors and textures. Pay attention to your hunger and fullness cues, and stop eating when you feel satisfied. By practicing mindful eating, you will cultivate better digestion, prevent overeating, and develop a deeper appreciation for the food you consume. 2. Loving-kindness meditation, cultivating compassion. Loving-kindness meditation, or metta, is a powerful practice for cultivating compassion and kindness toward yourself and others. By repeating well-wishing phrases, you can open your heart and strengthen your emotional resilience. How to practice. Find a quiet, comfortable space and close your eyes. Start by offering loving kindness to yourself. May I be happy. May I be healthy. May I live with ease. Next, extend these wishes to others. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you live with ease. You can also expand this practice to include loved ones, acquaintances, and even those with whom you have difficult relationships. This practice fosters compassion and emotional healing, helping to create a sense of connection with others and reduce feelings of isolation. 3. Mindful eating, nourishing your body and mind. Mindful eating is an essential practice for developing a healthy relationship with food. It encourages you to be present with your meals, to savor every bite, and to cultivate gratitude for the nourishment you receive. How to practice. Sit down to eat in a quiet, distraction-free environment. Focus on the appearance, texture, and taste of your food. Chew slowly, savoring each bite, and fully experiencing the flavors and textures. Pay attention to your hunger and fullness cues, and stop eating when you feel satisfied. By practicing mindful eating, you will cultivate better digestion, prevent overeating, and develop a deeper appreciation for the food you consume. 4. Body scan, connecting with your physical body. The body scan is a powerful, simple practice that helps reduce stress and increase awareness of your body. In our fast-paced world, we often become disconnected from our physical selves, neglecting the sensations and signals our bodies send us. This exercise allows you to slow down, check in with your body, and create a deeper connection with yourself. By practicing the body scan, you give yourself the opportunity to notice areas of tension or discomfort that may have gone unnoticed. It encourages you to pause, breathe deeply, and relax each part of your body, allowing for a profound release of physical tension. This practice is especially beneficial for those dealing with stress, anxiety, or body aches, as it helps you cultivate mindfulness and a stronger sense of presence. When we become more in tune with our bodies, we can also better understand how emotions are stored physically. For example, stress may manifest as tightness in the shoulders or a heavy feeling in the chest. The body scan helps us become aware of these sensations so that we can release them rather than allow them to accumulate, leading to greater well-being and emotional balance. How to practice the body scan. Find a comfortable position. Start by lying down in a comfortable position, preferably on your back, in a quiet place where you won't be disturbed. Close your eyes to eliminate visual distractions, and take several deep breaths to relax your body and mind. Inhale slowly, hold for a few seconds, and exhale gently, letting go of any tension. Focus on your toes. Begin by focusing your attention on your toes. Bring your awareness to this part of the body and simply notice what you feel. Is there any tightness? Any warmth? Perhaps there is a sense of relaxation, or maybe some discomfort. Don't judge what you feel, just observe it without attachment. Gradually move up your body. Slowly move your attention upward part by part as you continue the body scan. Move from your toes to your feet, and then up to your legs. Notice any sensations in your calves, knees, thighs, and hips. Take a moment with each area, allowing yourself to fully experience any tension, tightness, or comfort that exists. Focus on your abdomen and chest. As you shift your attention to your abdomen and chest, notice the rise and fall of your breath. This can often be a source of tension, especially if you're holding onto stress in your stomach area. Gently release any tension you may be holding here, focusing on softening the area with each breath. Move up to your arms, shoulders, and neck. Bring your awareness to your arms. From your hands and wrists to your shoulders. Shoulders often carry the weight of emotional stress, so spend extra time noticing any tension there. You may feel tightness in the neck as well. Slowly breathe into these areas and consciously release the tightness with each exhale. Complete the scan with your head. Lastly, bring your attention to your head. Your face, your scalp, your eyes, your jaw, and your forehead. Let go of any clenching in your jaw or furrowing of your brow. Allow your entire face to soften, relaxing your mind along with your muscles. Relax and breathe. Once you have scanned your entire body, take a moment to breathe deeply and enjoy the calm that follows. If any tension remains, gently return your focus to that area and continue breathing into it, allowing it to dissolve. Sit in stillness for a few minutes, appreciating the deeper connection you've made with your body. The benefits of body scanning reduces stress by helping you release tension in your body. The body scan is a wonderful tool for alleviating the physical symptoms of stress and anxiety. Improves body awareness. It fosters a stronger connection with your body, allowing you to become more attuned to the physical sensations and emotions that arise. Promotes relaxation with regular practice. The body scan encourages deep relaxation, calming the nervous system and creating a sense of peace. Helps with emotional healing. By recognizing where stress or emotional energy is stored in your body, you can begin to release long-held emotions, contributing to emotional healing and balance. Improves sleep. Practicing the body scan before bed can help you relax, unwind, and ease into restful sleep, particularly if you struggle with sleep due to stress or racing thoughts. Tips for getting the most out of the body scan. Consistency is key. While it's a simple practice, doing it regularly, daily if possible, will deepen your connection with your body and your ability to release tension. Be gentle with yourself. Don't force yourself to relax. If you feel resistance or discomfort in certain areas, simply acknowledge it and allow the tension to release at its own pace. Use it as a tool for emotional awareness. The body scan is not only a physical practice, but also a great tool for emotional insight. If you notice a particular area of your body feels tense or heavy, take a moment to explore what emotions might be tied to that sensation. Enhance with visualization. You can enhance your body scan by visualizing healing light or energy moving through your body. As you scan each area, imagine this light softening any tension or discomfort as it moves through each part of you. Incorporating the body scan into your daily life offers you a powerful, grounding tool to stay present and reduce the physical and emotional burdens that accumulate over time. By bringing attention to each part of your body, you not only relax physically, but also nurture your mental and emotional well-being. Through this simple yet profound practice, you reconnect with your body, cultivate mindfulness, and create space for healing in all areas of your life. 5. Gratitude practice healing through appreciation. Gratitude is a powerful tool for shifting your focus from what is wrong in your life to what is right. It helps you cultivate a sense of abundance, peace, and emotional well-being. How to practice. Every day, take a moment to reflect on 3 things you are grateful for. These could be small things: a kind word from a friend, a beautiful sunset, or a nourishing meal. Write them down in a gratitude journal, or speak them aloud to yourself. This practice can boost your mood, increase feelings of well-being, and help you cultivate a positive, healing mindset. Living the healing path. Healing is a lifelong journey. It is not something that can be accomplished in a day, a week, or even a year. Healing is a process, one that unfolds gradually as we integrate the lessons we've learned, engage with our inner selves, and interact with the world around us. As we've learned throughout this journey, healing is not only about the body, it is about the mind and spirit as well. It requires us to be present, compassionate, and aware. It calls us to slow down, listen, and open our hearts. Ultimately, healing is not about becoming perfect. It is about becoming whole. It is about embracing the journey, wherever it may take us, and trusting that through practice, we will find peace. As you continue your healing journey, remember that every step, no matter how small, is a vital part of the process. You are not broken, you are not hopeless, you are on the path of transformation. And every moment is an opportunity to heal, to grow, and become the fullest version of yourself. Healing comes from within. It comes through awareness, compassion, mindfulness, and love. As you integrate these practices into your life, remember that you are never alone. You are part of a greater whole. And together we can heal. Continue this journey with an open heart and a willingness to grow. You have everything you need within you to heal and thrive.